This is the part of your life where you stop running from the past pain and start using it. Not as a weight, but as a weapon. You were built for impact. No more hiding. No more playing it small.
How long does it take to save up a down payment to buy a house? 5 years? 5 years. How long does it take to prepare to run a marathon? 6 months? So let me ask you this. Does today really matter? Does today, does one day really matter? You're good. It doesn't really matter. It's so far away. And you're going to rationalize and all that stuff. But you lose track. Your lizard brain says, it's easier just to not do that thing. It's easier to scroll Instagram, so I'll just keep doing that. So you have to figure out what your motive is, and you got to remind your lizard brain and slap it upside the head. And say, the reason why I'm doing this is because one day I'm going to own my own house. One day I'm going to get promoted. I'm going to be in good shape. All those things, your lizard brain doesn't give any about that at all.
The process is actually not that pretty. It's getting up when you don't want to. It's eating the same thing every single day. It's doing the same boring work that is not pretty, not sexy, not interesting to look at, day in and day out, over and over and over again. And just when you think you've earned something, you have to do exactly what you just did 100 more times before you actually earn something. There is no amount of motivational speeches in the world that's going to get you through that. It is a matter of the cost of not doing it outweighing the cost of doing it. And the only reason that you are not currently going down that path is because you look at the cost of not doing it and you say, it's not that big of a deal.
The warmth of the trophy is relative to the fire that burned to get there. It shouldn't be easy. It should be hard. It should be the hardest fucking thing you've ever done. It should be the shit that you don't want to do. The shit others won't. If you want to be great, there's a commitment to sacrifice you must make. A commitment not many people do, but a commitment that separates good from great.
A good man has ideals that they stand for and they'll stand against, and when they're tested, a good man is not a nice guy. You know, being a good man is a lot harder for good reason.
Hey dog, look, I'm gonna be straight up with you. You gotta want it more than you hate it. These days get hard, I know. You're gonna have days where you do wanna quit, but those are the days that you're being tested. God's not gonna reward anyone who isn't being resilient. You gotta fight through them feelings and stop working based off your emotion and start working based off your discipline. And I promise you, if you do that, you gon' make it. Trust me. Be safe, bro.
Whatever it is you wanna become, you could be. Wherever you at right now, if you picking up garbage, if you sweeping, mopping, if you on the top of a hot-ass roof, pouring tar, whatever it is you're doing, I just need you to understand and know that success on the largest scale is so realistic.
It's about to be your time. You about to have a major comeback. Why? Because you've been putting in the work.
Betray your destiny and see how long it takes you to be drowning in a storm. It'll happen immediately, and of course it will, because what's calling you to be your best is exactly the thing that's pushing you forward to manifest yourself most fully in the world. It's what you need. You run away from that, the boat's going to start to rock very, very quickly.
Failure, hell, disappointment, discomfort is a great learning tool. And many people don't understand that, but it's these few moments in life that you have. Rocky won round 14. That 1 2-minute and 13-second clip of Rocky getting up when Apollo knocked him down. That one clip, when I was going through a very bad time in my life, I saw what I wanted to be.
It is simple. Ignore and outperform. Yes, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. I'll keep focusing on what I can do right. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I am, you will realize you have nothing to talk smack about, because you will lose and I will win.
It's not lonely at the top. That's just something losers say to excuse themselves from doing the work that is necessary to actually become who it is they want to become. Because everybody has this little version of themselves in their heart they know they're supposed to become. They know what it's supposed to be. They can feel it, they can see it, they know they're supposed to be this bad mother that exists inside of them, but they do not have the courage to even say, this is what I want to become. And if you don't have the balls to say, this is what I want, you sure as don't have the inner grit, fortitude, tenacity to go out and create it.
If your life isn't everything it could be, you could ask yourself, what would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be, who knows how much more efficient, 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get. It's off the charts. If we all got our act together collectively and stopped making things worse, because that's another thing people do all the time. Not only do they not do what they should to make things better, they actively attempt to make things worse because they're spiteful or resentful or arrogant or deceit, all of those things all bundled together in an absolutely pathological packet. If people stop really, really trying just to make things worse, we have no idea how much better they would get just because of that.
Outwork and outperform every last one of them.
What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You gotta outfind them. You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta execute, and you gotta go from 70 to 120.
I think we have it backwards. We're so worried about the external things. We're so worried about competing with other people. We're so worried about what this world thinks of us. We're so worried about all these things. The greatest victory isn't external. It isn't a follower count. It isn't a dollar account. It isn't a position in society. The greatest victory is knowing you already have victory. The greatest victory is knowing that God has already given you victory. The greatest victory is an internal victory, because it don't matter how victorious you are in the world. If you defeat it inside of you, what does it matter? Right? You have all the things in the world, but you have no peace inside of you. What does it matter? Right? If you're pleasing everybody else, but you're unhappy, what does it matter? So I want to just say that off top. Make sure you're working on your internal self, because that's the thing that truly matters at the end of the day. So I want to say that.
Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from your family members that ain't ever followed their dream. Get away from them.
I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way.
See, dirt is necessary for growth and development. Dirt builds character. Dirt gives you the push-through factor. Dirt makes you come with it when you don't feel like coming with it no more. It's somebody talking about you down on your job. It's somebody accusing you of something that you didn't do. It's somebody telling you you ain't gonna make it. See, that dirt builds character in you. When they talking about you, it teaches you to withstand it.
95% of our decisions are made by how you feel in the moment. And that is the problem.
I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody. You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up on the slightest struggle without discipline. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
See, when you accept yourself and you accept fear as a fact, that means that it's something that happens. It's something that you're going to experience, but it is not a force to hold you back. It doesn't have any special power other than that you give it. So you accept the fact that you are afraid, and then you move on anyhow.
I believe you were born to do something great with your life. But the first thing is this, either a reminder or an introduction to you, which is that you were born to do something great with your life. You were. We think we're disqualified. Oftentimes, the smallest things when we're doing them end up having the biggest ripple effects that change people's lives. But if we don't walk around knowing we were born to do something great, we may miss the very opportunities to do it.
And I want you to think about your goals and dreams, and I want you to expand them. Why? Because it has been said that most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. No, most people fail in life, they aim too low and hit. And many never aim at all, not at all. They just go through life surviving.
These notions that you can be whatever you want to be as long as you want it bad enough are not true. They're fairy tales. We all have limitations. But what does that mean? Does that mean I give up? Does that mean I quit? Of course not. Not at all. It means that I'm going to try to be the best that I can be, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest human being that I can become.
What will it take for you when others are quitting because of the rejections, when others are stopping because they just become so discouraged and they have creditors breathing down their neck and they have family members and friends telling them they're full? What is it that will allow you to have the mental resiliency to keep on keeping on, to keep your commitment to your commitment, the will to do it? You want to surround yourself with people that are hungry. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have.
There's a few lies in life that most people buy into. Number one, most people think they're disqualified from becoming mega successful. Let me tell you what they do. They think their past disqualifies them. So what you do regularly is you disqualify yourself. What I'm saying to you, what if the truth was that your greatest mistakes are the very things that do qualify you to change people's lives? What if that's the case?
Your success every day. Success is a daily thing, not a destination thing. Because so many times people have a tendency to devalue the moment, today. What they do is they greatly value the destination. And so they kind of talk about, well, when I get there, or if I arrive there, or when I do that, or when I accomplish this. And they don't understand that success is a daily thing. And I'm here to share with you that the secret of success is determined by your daily agenda.
All those excuses you got, they're just fear. They are just fear. That the only thing that is keeping you from identifying the things that aren't working and doing the work to move your life into alignment with who you're meant to be and the things that truly make you come alive, the only thing that's preventing you from doing that is you and your fears. Whether you're like any excuse that you have is just fear. You're afraid to try, you're afraid to fail, you're afraid you're too late, you're afraid of this, you're afraid of that. Now's not the right time, I don't have this, I don't have that, this person would be upset with me. All of it is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of it not working out, fear of being disappointed, fear of disappointing others. That's what an excuse is. You're just managing fear.
That is what I'm going to go for. And it doesn't matter, but I will not be better than others when I compare myself to them. No. I will look at others who do achieve greatness in a category, and I will say, look at what is possible. How close can I get to that greatness? How close can I get to that glory? But my glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning.
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, No mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
You can do what you put your mind to. And if you continue to put your mind to it, the game opens up new levels. And each new level that gets opened up, you're able to adapt a different mindset and a different approach. You can stop at that level, or you can go, I want more levels.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a wool.
It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad, but you don't want people to win? What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to Olympic striving?
Other than death, all failure is psychological. This failure, this upset, this catastrophe. If you aren't dead, then it's just psychological. Now, this does not mean that you won't lose some battles, because you will. We all will.
Every transformation always gets worse before it gets better. It's supposed to be that way. It's not an easy path. It's not for the ill-hearted or the weak-natured. It's for the strong people. And before you embark on this journey, mentally, you have to prepare yourself for it. No one's going to get worse before it gets better. When you embark this journey, you must know that it's going to go down before it comes up. But when it comes up, it's going to go so much higher than you've ever been. Sacrificing today for tomorrow's betterment.
Unless you're dead, you are not defeated. And you have not failed. What you've done is you've learned. You've gained experience. And you're still alive. And you have memories to make. So get up and go get after it. As long as you don't surrender, as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't quit, then you haven't failed.
Oh, maybe it's time to stop. No, it's time to move even further.
We're constantly looking at life. What is it? What is it? Where are we? Look how interesting. Look at different cultures, different beliefs. How do they come to that? How do I feel about that? What do I think? It is a daily adventure. You have your voice. It's there. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Create. Don't let anyone stop you.
You will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. I couldn't understand it then. But after I got through it, then I saw that that was preparing me for bigger and better things.
You have to be equipped mentally to endure this process.
What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? How you address it is you face it. You face it every day. You face it every single day of your life. The things that, how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone. And you're all by yourself.
Growth only comes through pain.
That which you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate. And I think that identifies most people's lives. In other words, average becomes sort of like this slow asphyxiation. It's almost like an anesthetic. And that over time we become kind of immune and dulled to the average that we're becoming.
Your life doesn't have meaning without aspiration or an aim. Okay, so you need a hierarchy of values. There's got to be something at the top. It's got to be something important. If you don't have that, your life doesn't have any meaning. So if you criticize the hierarchy, or even the idea of hierarchy, you destroy the idea of aspiration, and then people have nothing.
This is, I believe, the single biggest factor for most people that robs them of success. That you use what other people might say or think or be disappointed by as an excuse to not fully be yourself, to not fully go after what you want.
You're gonna get out of your life what you'll accept. That's really difficult for people, I think, to understand is, look, what you think you're worth and what you're gonna tolerate is absolutely what you're gonna bring into your life and what the outward part of your life's gonna look like. No, there's two motivators, right? There's the gaining of pleasure, right? Wanting to go get something, chasing the dream, but then there's the avoidance of pain.
I'm great. We surround ourselves around people that make us feel great. They tell us what we want to hear. The second we put ourselves amongst the uncommon people, we don't like that feeling. We like that person who says, hey, you know, man, I don't feel good today, man. And they say, oh, it's okay, brother. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses. We want that person who's constantly, you know, making us feel nice and good and secure in ours. That's the mediocrity of life. We want to be the best amongst the average people.
If you don't develop your capabilities and realize your potential, you may be successful externally, but you will be deeply unhappy because you're not fulfilling your gifts, your nature. And so the way that's done is bottom up. Each person discovering their gift, turning it into valued skills, and then using it to succeed by contributing.
But one's career is infinite. There's no end. It's like our lives are finite, but life is infinite. People come and people go, but life continues. They spend their whole life working for one goal, though most will never get it. The few that do don't know what to do next because their goals were finite. Their goals were finite, right? And so there are finite components to your career, but your career should be infinite. So yes, of course you have to win the finite game. You have to get the part, but immediately when you get the part, now you convert to infinite.
So the monkey mind is jumping from branch to branch. It doesn't want to focus on the root of the issue. It wants to find the next banana. It wants to find the next excuse. It wants to find the next instant gratification, right? That's the monkey mind. And so the monkey mind is never going to help you focus on your strengths. The reason why we struggle to find our passion is because the world has constantly pushed us away from our strength. We've constantly been told to focus on your weaknesses. And so we've all been programmed to say, oh, your strengths, they're fine, they're good the way they are, but why are you not performing at this? And so the one way to know your strengths is to ask yourself, what do you do that you feel the most confidence doing?
When you get tired, when you get fatigued, when you get down, when you're in a slump, it's your habits, rituals, routines, and your standards that carry you through. And if you don't have good habits, you don't have good rituals, you don't have good routines, always in your life you will fall down in bad times, in slumps and fatigue and in stress.
So you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them, being fine with being mediocre. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are.
He wrote, "Deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment." One of the things that I can just tell you as you think about your goals and dreams, all of us can say in a spirit of integrity that it's possible. That if anybody at any point in time lived their dream, then it's possible that I can live mine.
All I want you to ever do is try. That's it. I just want you to try. In those moments where you hear yourself, I want you to try. In those moments where you know that it's time to speak up, I want you to try. That's all that I ever ask of you, because if you simply do that, and I say simply as if it's so easy, right? You will literally unlock the potential of your life.
You have to ask, am I able to turn this fantasy of mine into a fact? Can I actually realize it? Can I turn my dreams into reality? Now, you're either going to say, yes, I'm able to, or no, I'm not. If you realize you are able, if you have an understanding of this potential, this power within you, then you have to ask yourself, are you willing? And there's a long series of tests there. You don't even know what you're going to come up against. One thing is for certain, you'll come up against ridicule. You have to be willing to do whatever is required if you really want to turn your fantasy into a fact. The second you say, yes, I'm willing, at that instant, you've created your theory.
What if? Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I can pull this off? It's the what if I can pull off a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
Everyone knows that you wake up at 3 in the morning when you let your life go off the rails.
The decisions you make right now is up to you. You crying about something that happened to you when you was a kid. You ain't even no kid no more.
The hard thing is taking the first step. Everything else is just persistence.
So what I want you to understand about the breakthrough is that 90% is work. But the last 10%, that's fight.
You commit to do this for the long term. Whether it's hard or easy doesn't matter. You're doing this.
I tell you to set goals beyond your lifetime. I tell you to set goals as soon as humanly possible. You will never exceed your highest expectation. You will never exceed your highest, craziest thought. That's a guarantee. And so then why to set low goals?
Every tool you have, and most people will not use every single tool they have because they're afraid. They don't know how to control it. They don't want to acknowledge it. They're afraid of being judged. They want to stand out. They want to be different. They want willing to acknowledge them. But they have so much doubt of what greatness and the unforgiving race actually requires to win over and over again. We all have fear. We all have fear, but these individuals have so much doubt. Think about the times where everything was going wrong. Nothing was going right. What kept you going? What kept you going? You were in that place. What kept you going? That was your dark energy. When does a new day start? At midnight. If a new day starts in the dark, why are you afraid to use your dark side for your new beginnings?
we tell ourselves the story, we play the only part we've ever known, and then that part becomes our own and we don't know how to separate it. So we understand praise manipulates. We'll accept your own praise. Your mind says if you say it, it must be true, which is why self-criticism goes in and does so much damage. And self-praise goes in and does so much repairing, because the most important word you'll ever hear are the words you say to yourself.
You have too many individuals out there that are not writing their own story. They're letting other people write those stories for them.
So the first thing is, that's the first big problem right there. First big problem is that you have put a lot of people above you, put no one above you, no one.
And how many times have we given up on a dream because we were mocked by the people around you? And all I'm suggesting to you is when you get laughed at, ridiculed, and where people don't understand your next level of world class, that just means you've got a great dream, and that just means you're on the path of growth.
But momentum requires you always do the next thing to keep the momentum going. And the reason you get yourself in a passionate place is so that you change your life, and the only thing that changes your life is making a decision.
And nothing will happen in this world. Everything will happen wonderfully well, even if you're not there. Every human being should be aware of this every moment of his life. It does not matter what the whole world says about it. It does not matter how significant a work you're doing. You must understand that tomorrow morning the world will go on fine without you, whoever you may be. If you constantly remind yourself of this, you'll have no reason to be serious.
Everything I didn't want to do is what got me to where I'm at today. Every single thing. So where we find comfort, that's where I started getting scared. When I started saying, oh, it's raining, I'm not going out there. No, you cannot say that. You cannot do that. You have got to do this.
So while you're in this passionate state, that's where you make decisions. If you make a decision in a state without momentum, if you make a decision in a place where there's no passion, you are not going to get momentum. It'll kill momentum. It's decide, commit, and resolve.
Truly, that you make things happen so that the person you are starting tomorrow is more of who you know you truly are.
Most individuals, your mind will make a decision. Say, we're going to do this. The feelings always make suggestions. When you fail, your feelings give you excuses. Your mind makes you more resilient.
There are things that you know that you must focus on, but it scares you. I want you to look at where in your life that story is robbing you of your dreams, and where it is giving you an excuse to avoid the things that you know you need to do.
People will point out your weaknesses, but there's a big difference between your weaknesses and your flaws. Your flaws are your gifts, and people are so busy trying to deal with their flaws and change their flaws when their flaws are actually allows them to stay in that place.
Everyone's good at something. You know, you're not meant to be good at everything. It's no good being a jack of all trades and a master of none. So be really good at what you're good at, and don't worry about what you're not good at, because we're not all supposed to be good at the same thing. Find your talent, you know, find out what you love to do. What you're meant to do lies directly behind and is absolutely linked to what you love to do.
I tell all the people that I love, you gotta want the best out of your life for you, because we only have a moment on this earth. And it's going to be people
and look you in the face and tell you that they believe in you. They're gonna tell you from their lips they believe in you. But when you look them in their eyes, you're gonna know that they're not telling the truth. That's the hardest thing for a man to take, because belief is what excels and pushes people through the stratosphere. And I can always tell people, I'm no bigger than you. What I tell people is the way you get to the next level of your life is keep going. Keep going, keep running. Even when you don't even know, when it turns into chaos. You cannot be great if you cannot operate in chaos. That's my why. Because if you can operate in chaos, the world becomes Disneyland. Problems become scratches. Many people focus on the problem and not solutions. We spend a split second, 15, 20 minutes tearing our body down, tearing our mind down over something that we can't control. Everybody talks about their faith, but do they really got faith? Do you got that halfway faith, or do you got that whole way faith? Real motivation comes from pain. It comes from the bottom.
Building yourself begins with intention, clarity. You have to know who you want to become. You can't just show up in the gym of the mind and do random stuff any more than you can show up in the gym of the body and do random stuff and think that you're gonna end up on the stage competing for Mr. Olympia. Because until you know exactly in what way you are trying to serve people, you don't know what skills you need to acquire in order to lead people in awe so that you may become extraordinary. You have to push yourself long past the point of boredom. Boredom kills more people in the pursuit of success than any hater will ever kill. Boredom is the great killer of dreams. Boredom. Because people don't have the focus, they don't have the clarity of what they're trying to achieve. They've not built into their life an intoxication for what they're trying to accomplish.
Why is it so many people have big dreams, but such a small number of people ever make those dreams a reality? And for those that do make it a reality, what is it that gets them not only to follow through, but then to enjoy what they have? I don't know if you've ever had the experience of achieving something that you've always wanted, and then afterwards thinking to yourself, is this all there is? It's one of the worst feelings of the worst. It's almost worse than failing, because when you fail, at least you know, hey, I can still find a way to make it happen. But when you succeed and you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, then you got a real problem. There's two things that control everything in your life. Every thought, every feeling, every emotion, every action you have in your life, your beliefs and your values. Whatever you believe, if you think life is just a waste of time, doesn't matter what you do, beliefs control us, but so do our values. Some people value making it happen. Some people value their family the most. Some people value love. But you know what the real challenge is? When we have values in conflict. When we have conflicts between what we want and what we think we can have, or you have a goal of what you really want to make happen, but then you have this other belief inside that says, this damn stuff never does work. But then there's a time in which people begin to question. They begin to look at their life and they begin to say, is this really what I want? Have you found yourself with that at any time? And then they do one of two things. They either recommit and they go for another 7 years and they take it to another level, or they make a strategic decision that shifts the direction of their life. Either way, your decisions control your destiny. And if you don't choose, that's a choice as well. Some people just kind of stay in the middle of that lukewarm place, not sure what they really want. Maybe the question to ask is, where do I want my life to be today? And where am I really going? What is my destiny? What's gonna fill me up? What's gonna give me the meaning for my life? That's gonna give me joy in my life, not just achievement, but real enjoyment, a sense of meaning and aliveness.
Every human being on this earth has their own journey.
And when you don't focus on yours, you will not bring the great gifts and things that you were supposed to bring to the world. Like the best gift come from the bottom. Like only in the womb of a woman can a man breathe underwater. Like God leaves your gift at the bottom of the stairs, and it's up to you to climb up those stairs and get your gift.
You get to build yourself in any direction you want, in any way, to become anything you want. There will be an extraordinary price to pay, but you can go in any direction.
Life is always giving you a test, trying to give you a way out, trying to give you an excuse not to show up. This is my excuse today. But guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day of your life. No matter what life throws at you. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. It's your responsibility to find your new 100%.
Everything that's happening to you is God is processing. Every difficult moment you're having, He's just processing it. That's all He's doing. Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. And if you need to be tough when you get to where you're going, then He gonna toughen you. If you gotta be more caring along the way, He gonna let you have some trials come your way that's gonna have to produce that in you.
When you are on the path, you want to stay on the path. Unfortunately, the opposite is also true. Once you step off the path, you tend to stray far. When you don't prepare what you need to do the next day, when you sleep in and then skip your workout and you don't start attacking the tasks that you have because you didn't write them down the night before, that is when you make bad decisions. That is when your will and discipline fail.
Stop telling your visions to other people because they're not going to see it. Because God is talking to you. He's showing you something that He has for you.
There will be people who will see your talents, your time, your abilities, all those gifts that you have, and they will want to take advantage of it. But you've got to be careful. Protect your gift. Realize that your gift is something that you can't waste. You have to learn to look at yourself and find the value and then put value to it every day. It increases. Every day that you survive, every day that you learn something, you increase in your value. Don't get settled for a job. It's your dreams, your aspirations. Keep chipping away at them.
And by parent yourself, I mean it's your job to make yourself do the crap you don't want to do so you can be everything that you're supposed to be. And you're so damn busy waiting to feel like it. And you're never going to.
You could change, you should change, you won't change. That's called accumulated disaster. Could, should, and will. You can start this whole process. And if you will, then put it into action. The miracle belongs to you.
Because self-control is a power. In fact, it's a superpower. Once you have that, you have everything you need to succeed. Just don't get comfortable. Just don't get settled. Get hungry. Discipline, habits, and self-control.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. You're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking. Yeah. And if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
Get on the path of discipline and stay on the path. Discipline begets discipline.
Will propagates more will.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true.
That as you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, if you easy come, easy what? Easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do, do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender.
Think strategic all the time. Before any action or any inaction, ask yourself this question: is this action going to make me stronger or weaker? Will this action move me toward the strategic long-term goals I am trying to achieve in my life? And do not lie to yourself. You have to tell yourself
The truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.